Hello everyone. How you doing, guys? It's been we've got some activity going on, like on Schumann resonance. You can see I was posting last time on Instagram some sort of energy updates. What is showing up for us, because we are stripping off a deeper layers of our own conditioning and all sort of trauma bonds and relationship issues, all those layers which we thought there is something going on. It's usually there is something else underneath it. So now we are looking on deeper layers of our reality and what we are projecting out, because you're the creator, you're the projector. Nobody is creating the reality for you. You are the one who is actually projecting it all through. And the way it works, the way reality works, is that you practically are projecting through your library of all sort of beliefs. Your belief system is involved in it, and that is sort of projecting through, and then that's what you see. That's how reality is more or less created. So now we're gonna be looking on different type of layers of the issues we are having with the people, mostly with the people, like in our close relationships. What is playing out quite strongly now is that you might be noticing, if not, that's a good information I can give you. There are certain aspects which you took on into your library, like into your projector. So when you're projecting something, is when there is a person in your life, that person carries certain attributes that you sort of adopted from the strongest figures from your childhood. You know, how you were programmed, practically how your belief system was set. So usually it's a mother, father, brothers, sisters, grandmothers, all sorts of family members playing a major role in your projection, practically, because you are projecting it through these layers, through these lenses, because we are all wounded, then there is we always are underneath of the facade, what we are showing to the world. There is tons of wounds and trauma and hurt, and that's what is playing out in the entire collective. We are not done with the healing. When the collective is not healed, we are not healed either. There is always something what is gonna be popping up for you, or you might be it might be disturbing you on some level, because if you're a sensitive soul, you will feel the heaviness of the world, you will feel the energies, you will feel the density. It's playing out on a large scale, it's playing out globally. So obviously, if we are all one, and everything that is part of you as well, so you might be feeling it. There is a lot of stuff right now coming to the surface, and it's all around this kind of a deeper layers of what we adopted from our major characters, let's say, or caregivers, from the childhood, which you still didn't see. Something what you were either not ready to see, or something that you missed, or you were not aware. Most of the time, it's something that those are different type of layers. Let's say you are in the codependent relationship, all right? So are you thought that this is something around, I don't know, you thought that, let's say it's all around the worthiness, that you don't feel worthy of having a better relationship. But you might find out that underneath that actually is something completely different. Underneath that could be a programming that your parents programmed you and you would see your father behaving certain way to your mother, or your mother behaving certain way to your father, and you adopted that sort of like a behaviors, or like you took it on, like, this is how people behave, so this is what I'm supposed to expect, how the people are gonna behave to me. There could be a lot of different type of layers what are playing out now in your reality, or you might be noticing that what you thought that you're dealing with is actually something different, that like nothing is as it seems. That's, I think you might hear that quite a lot. I think a lot of people say that. So we are looking on that. We're looking a lot on the trauma bonds, like, a lot of the contracts we created by ourselves. It's like this insanity of us as humans, that we creating all these contracts with other people because we think that we have to learn some lessons. So a lot of these contracts are finishing. A lot of people are gonna be like breaking apart, like, a lot of marriages or couples, or like, you might be moving out from your family. There will be a lot of like a kind of like disruption that is happening right now during this like eclipse season. And then we have a Mercury retrograde afterwards. That's gonna be another one. I think it's in Gemini, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm not astrologer, but I feel on one level, I feel as well that there is a room for creation. There is a room for taking certain projects like out, what I was planning to do for quite some time. But I got a lot disillusioned as well along the way, past couple of months, around how I work, or because I started noticing that I want to cooperate with others, but what is actually asked of me is doing it first on my own, but still leaving a room there to cooperate with others. And that's what something I did not grasp before, because I was always planning to cooperate with one person, or then like I just cancel it, then I started to cooperate with another person, then I cancel it, because it was not really, it was constantly sabotaging itself. And what I didn't really see was that the energies are such that, like, to standing in your own empowerment, then first you have to be able to do it sort of on your own, but only ego thinks that they can do it alone. Like, it's not that we are gonna be doing things alone. It's more about being able to do it alone, and then still inviting the others to cooperate with you. Like, if it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So instead of like constantly planning like together how you're gonna do the things, and like trying to like just putting things together because you are working, like, you're trying to work together. No, that doesn't really work, because you cannot really plan. Like I realize that you cannot plan anything right now. It's just so difficult to plan. It doesn't work. So there will be a room for bringing certain projects out, and I think we are in this preparation phase, that we need to still strip off certain like limiting beliefs and conditioning around our relationships, partnerships, friendships, whatever you name it, and all the limitations what we impose on ourselves around these the relationships we have, and obviously like hopefully noticing the patterns of the conditioning and programming that was like that we adopted in the childhood, that is actually playing out now. Because I mean these needs to be coming into your conscious mind, so that you can be done with it. Then you can be more clear and having more clarity around like certain things in your life. So this is happening. So trauma bonds, finishing of the contracts, moving. There will be a lot of like shuffling and adjustment, even like at work, in the way you work practically as well. So that's a part of it. And then we are getting rid of the karma. That's a big one. Like, we all made some, along the way. When we were unconscious, we created tons of karma, like around like money, let's say, finances. That's gonna be like something what we are looking at, because Mercury is a planet of the finances. Mercury goes retrograde, so it's gonna be very interesting. So I would suggest like you start like exploring your belief system around money and what it means to, like, I don't want to say making a living, but like using your own gifts and talents and what you value in the process of like a, like using it as a work, but like giving the value as well and receiving like the support, the financial support for that you can actually be happy and pay the bills and things like that. So we are gonna be looking on the finances for sure, like especially shared finances, like especially if you have a family. This is gonna be pressing us all, like especially like if you have kids and things like that. That's gonna be really tricky to navigate. So have a look on that bit. That's definitely showing up. Undelivered promises creates karma. So what might be showing up for you as well is that all those promises that you promise either to others or to yourself, what you're gonna do or not, or not gonna do, and you constantly like looping in this, that creates karma. So that's not gonna be easy to break. I got some karma, like for sure, like around the finances and like how I was taught about like the money and things, like, so we're gonna be definitely looking on that, how much karmic like imprints we created, but I'm sure that we can kind of delete it and go clean, like for sure. I'm not sure about that, but I still believe that you can do that. One message that came in was like, I think it's a lot as well, what is going into finances as well. It's as well a lot we are being asked to trust the unknown and to trust the universe and trust in yourself, because practically you are the universe experiencing itself, so you have to trust yourself. So you have to trust in the unknown, you have to trust the universe, because you're the universe itself. So there is no reason to not to trust yourself. And I got this like really nice message. I think yesterday it came in, was the mistrust in yourself and the universe costs you more than the trust if you give the trust, practically. It would cost you more if you do not trust. So I think that's really nice, because I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, it costs me enormous. It costs me more if I doubt myself, because let's say doubt consumes, like one single thought of doubt consumes about 30% of your energy. That's a lot. So we're gonna be like looking on how we spend our energy and what we're focusing on, and how we are promising the things to the others, what we can, if we can deliver, if we cannot deliver, where we people please still, where we are not honoring our own true like essence or our own resonance. So this is the themes that we're gonna be really like a fine-tuning and like really like I think we have all enough, and I think this pressure on this sudden everything got so intensified and everything starts to be so fast, like everything is popping up like every day so fast, so we are being really cornered and forced, and we just like facing the issues that we didn't want to have a look on, or we were putting it on the hook for like looking on it later. That doesn't work anymore. We will have to deal with our own shit, and we will have to definitely see as well where we've got some karma around relationships and manipulation, like and finances, and even like how you manipulate the people to getting your things done, like you're getting like your needs met. You know, that's a big theme. And like taking responsibility for your own creations so far, even if it's not pretty, you know, we usually do not want to take a full responsibility of the reality that we created, that we do not like, and it's still in our experience. It is quite difficult, or a lot of people do not want to actually take a full responsibility for the bad stuff. You know, it's easy to take the responsibility for the good stuff, but it's not easy to take the responsibility for like those hiccups. We not call them mistakes, you know. Let's not call them mistakes. Don't. So we're gonna be reviewing a little bit of the past, but we have to let it go. We have to make a peace with the past. Let's say I've got some issue where for me it's difficult to make a peace with certain things in my life, but the progression, it always comes with this kind of like acceptance. If you cannot forgive, acceptance is the best way how to go with it. It's the nearest like vibration to the forgiveness. And what you might notice, some of you, if you are doing certain like spiritual practices, if you do some kriya or some like you know, like a breath work, and you are doing certain practices, then you definitely reprogram yourself and stripped a lot of yourself. You might, but the way you know that you progress is that then you start feeling suddenly this like emptiness. And in that, when there is this emptiness, more of your consciousness can actually go in. So more of your higher self will be going in, and you get more conscious actually and more aware. You will be more in sync with like there will be more room for the universe at large, like, you know, and you will be doing a different type of decisions, and you will be choosing differently. So that's how you will feel lighter. That's how you know that you progressed. You will be a little bit more joyous than you were the day before. You know, like kind of like this way, even though we've got a headache, there is a lot of like exhaustion because of what the activity on Schumann resonance right now. We've being like, I have a constant headaches, and I can feel like here constantly like on this part of my brain and this eye, like I got like really a big pressure going on. I think it's as well because of the haircut. A lot of the energies, I know that when you cut your hair, all the energies goes into that area. So this is not really ideal haircut, like honestly, like, you know, usually yogis are like first completely bold that they would like to open up all these faculties, but then when the crown chakra is open and the third eye is open and all these like pathways are cleared, then like usually they like protect this area and they don't shave anymore the head. So I'm kind of questioning that if this is not a case as well, like that I am getting hit like quite a lot on this part of my brain. But like I feel it a lot like on the brain, and like a lot of stinging and a lot of like you can feel the activity. Like, I mean, if your crown chakra is open, you will feel it. So that is kind of a stuff was happening. There is a lot of, I heard somebody talking about some solar flares, but I have no clue about that. Just like passing the information that there is a talk about some solar flares, but I have no clue about that. So that might affect us as well, like, you know, energetically. There is a lot happening planetary. That's what I know, like a little bit from the astrology. So like a lot of planets are kind of like stripping the shit out of us. So it's gonna be interesting. This year is really interesting. I'm exhausted most of the time, but you know, I was thinking to show up and just like give you a tiny little bit of update about the energies. I'm posting more Instagram as it goes because I'm really tired. I won't say that I am not. I'm still juggling all the parenting and the shadow, and you know, we all have one. So getting in peace with all of that. Just make sure you don't make any new agreements, because like we are finishing all the contracts. Do your research on the soul contracts and agreements, and how is this all playing out. because we usually making them by our own, really. Like some agreements we made before we dropped in here, but a lot of the agreements we made because we just think that we need to learn some lessons. Some agreements are from the past, like, you know, the karmic agreements. That's what we are releasing right now as well. So dig deep into that topic. I don't know much about it, so I cannot really give you many information about it. If I found someone who speaks about it, I think I found someone, I have to revisit, I don't remember his name. So yeah. And reprogramming your mind, you know, the moment you notice that you have some like limiting belief, it's good to pick up some. I do some hypnosis with Jake Ducey. I'm doing it for many years and I'm still not reprogrammed. So, you know, you don't really know how deep those things goes. That's the thing. So it's good to pick up some like reprogramming, to do your research, have a look on the how to reprogram your mind. I know yoga has certain like practices on the reprogramming your mind or reprogramming the structure, but most of the yogis are getting rid of the mind. They don't want to use the mind as a tool. Some of them, you know, do. Tantra has like, I think Chit Shakti, Sadhguru has those practices that you just project the mind to tell, like, you know, you can create your own reality. So you can do that, but if you have tons of limiting beliefs, it will be still filtering it through, and you get what you actually are programmed. So it's good to like be a little bit a scientist and really look at yourself, like where you've got a limiting beliefs and around which type of like area in your life is not working, or where you still hurt, or, you know, and find some spiritual teachers which are gonna stretch your mind. And like, because the way you can get rid of the limiting belief, you can get rid of the limiting belief in one day. You can, it's totally possible, but you have to change your perspective and it has to make a sense to you. It's the only way you can do that. Otherwise, you still have to practice. You know, repetition, usually how you reprogram your mind is through the repetition, or there has to be certain like a big shakeup, like, you know, like a traumatic event, let's say out of the body experience. Like, you know, out of the body experience is always considered as like one of the biggest and most profound experiences in human life. That's how you change. That's, let's say, how I changed when I had a Kundalini awakening. So, you know, that's, those events are really those events which are just strip you off completely of all lot of things. So yeah, that's a little update, and I see you next time. I hope it helps someone. Yeah, see you. Bye.